Hi, I'm James with British Customs. Today we'll be installing this Motogadget Spy Mirror Kit on this 2022 Triumph Street Twin. We want to start by removing this rubber cap. And under here you'll find two nuts. One of these is just a lock nut that keeps the mirror locked in place when you adjust it. We want to remove from the bottom nut here. Using a 14mm wrench, just loosen it up and then spin the mirror out. Depending on which kit you bought, you'll either receive a whole block-off kit that you would just screw in to block off this hole where the mirror once was, or you can completely get rid of this nub by installing this kit with a 5mm Allen. You would remove those and put this on, tighten it up. When you're screwing in this cap, you'll find a tight spot most of the time where you can't turn it by hand. If that happens, there's a small little hole right here that goes all the way through. If you use your smallest Allen key, which should be like a 1.5mm, fits right in there. If you don't have that, just find anything that fits in there that's not too big, that will scratch up your anodizing, and just use that to turn it in. So you get all the way down, and that'll allow you to make it nice and tight. So we want to repeat the same thing on this side. We're going to pick up the rubber cap, and again we want to remove from the bottom nut. In this situation, you have the mirror is holding this master cylinder reservoir on, so you want to make sure you don't just let that drop down. You want to hold it, so when you loosen it, it doesn't fall and scratch something. Then we can take our cap, put that on, and again using our 1.5mm Allen or something that fits in there without scratching anything, you can tighten it up. The other option we have is to replace this whole clamp that gets rid of this nub completely here. In order to do that, we need to relocate the master cylinder reservoir. So using your T30 Torx bit, you take this screw off. You want to be careful not to disconnect any of these hoses, because if you leak out .4 brake fluid, it will ruin the paint on your gas tank. And you don't want to introduce air into your brake system either. Next step I'm going to do is remove this cap, which you wouldn't have had to do if you got the kit, so it doesn't matter. So using your 5mm Allen hex bit, remove these two screws, holding your master cylinder in place so you don't drop it. And you can try and keep your alignment. If not, you can readjust it after you get it all together. Put the clamp kit. You want to hold it here. Start with your bottom screw. Install that. Using your 4mm Allen hex bit, you want to snug that screw up. Now you can let go of your master cylinder and it won't fall. Get the longer screw from the kit. Put it through your reservoir. And put the spacer so it goes in between. Now you have to turn this hose so you can get the screw in. Again, using your 4mm Allen hex bit, snug this screw up. You may have to loosen the bottom screw a little bit to get your alignment so that you don't strip your screw threads out. You want to make sure your reservoir stays straight up and down. On the left side, we want to start by removing this clip. You just pry it out. It has this brass insert in it for 7/8 bars. If you pull it out, you can put this on a 1-inch bar. This is a 7/8, so we want to keep it on. And we're going to install it upright. You could install it downward if you want. Just make sure it doesn't hit the tank when you turn full left. Put it on. Snug it up a little bit. Get our end cap with our 4mm hex Allen bit. Install that. Then we can pull the mirror back. You want to make sure that the brass insert is flush with the mount. So if it's not, just take a screwdriver and work it around until it is. You may need to loosen the mirror just a little bit, make it easier to move. With your 4mm Allen hex bit, you want to start to tighten this down and adjust your mirror to where you want it before you fully tighten it down. You want to make sure that your clutch lever doesn't get interfered with anything. So a very important step on installing on the right side is this shim that you want to place on the inside of the end cap on the screw. And what that shim does is keeps this from pushing this too far in to where it hits the throttle tube, and then your throttle won't be able to move. So it keeps it from sticking.